It's a big weekend coming up in Ferdinand, Indiana. It's the Ferdinand Folk Festival this Saturday. Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Marc Stezyck, and Marc is one of the coordinators for the Ferdinand Folk Festival. Marc, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Great to be here. This is becoming a tradition.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Now, you know, believe it or not, I'm there at every one. I MC it, but I can't remember. Is this the third year?
Fourth.
Fourth year.
Fourth
Holy
annual.
mackerel.
Yeah.
Wow, what a successful event. Somebody referred to the Ferdinand Folk Festival the other day. I don't remember where I was, and they said, you know, it is just a magic festival. There's just something about that event that is just special.
It really is, and I think a lot of that is that it's different than anything that's going on right now. And that's not a knock against any of the other festivals in the area or in the region, but I mean, we're doing something that's extraordinarily family friendly by design. And we don't have a beer garden, you know. I mean, so it's just kind of a unique festival and a unique atmosphere, and there's just nothing really like it to compare it to in the area. Now, you know, Evansville has their share of jazz and wine fests and things like that, but it has absolutely grown over the 3 previous years, and if the weather holds out this year, I think we're going to have a pretty good crowd.
Well, you know, in a way, you almost triple the size of Ferdinand in one day, one night.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting. We had an article that Inside Indiana Business put out not too long ago, and it was all third-party sources. We didn't have any involvement in doing it, and they said that they expect that the Ferdinand Folk Festival this year will bring nearly $1 million of economic impact to the area, which astounded even me. You know, I mean, because we knew that we were doing good things for, you know, the area hotels, and we knew that our restaurants saw good things. We knew that our convenience stores and Dollar General and gas stations and places like that, we knew that those places were seeing an upswing in business on that day, but to measure it by saying nearly $1 million, it was, you know, really made us proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
No, really, and all of Du Bois County and the surrounding counties benefit from that because people are flowing through from all the areas and stopping in.
Absolutely. One of the most interesting things last year, and you might remember this, but Town Council President Ken Seacard from the stage asked the members of the audience, you know, if you're from Ferdinand, and then people raised their, you know, applauded or whatever, Du Bois County, Indiana, and then outside of the state. And outside the state was probably equal or more to than Du Bois County. So the impact of being able to show off our community, not just how well kept it is, because all of the other municipalities around here, everybody's proud of their communities and things like that, but to be able to show our community as being one of the most progressive, I think, at least in Du Bois County, I think is a special opportunity for the town of Ferdinand.
Okay, now let's talk about the Ferdinand Folk Fest. It really originated, it's kind of grown and expanded from that, but originally it's a big music festival. It's really what it is. It's a music fest, free to anybody that wants to attend.
Free to anybody that wants to attend, and we are able to do that by the nature of having sponsors and fundraisers and things like that, and would certainly be remiss if I didn't thank Best Home Furnishings this year, who is our diamond level sponsor for the first time, and that's $5,000, and that goes a long way for us. And of course we have platinum sponsors, Access Storage, German American, and Cayenne Woodstock, and a whole host of other sponsors. But yeah, it's free to attend. I'm very proud that we've been able to keep that, because we went from a budget the first year of $4,000 to now of $25,000. So it's all free, no taxpayer money is expended this year for sure. So we're really proud of being self-sustaining as well.
That is awesome, and the more money you're able to generate through what the fundraisers you have throughout the year and the sponsorships, the bigger the name artists you have. And
yeah, absolutely.
This year you have Todd Snyder. Now, a lot of people are going, I don't know Todd Snyder, but if you're in that folk music genre, you know Todd Snyder.
Yeah, Todd Snyder's not necessarily a huge commercial success, but he's a critic's dream, I guess, if you will. He can basically puts out an album and it'll make all the big magazines best of end of year lists. His most recent album was in 2012, and I think it was number 30 or something like that in Rolling Stone, and also mentioned in Blender and Spin magazine as well. So not a huge commercial success, but he has a very large cult following. He's very well known for his engaging and entertaining stories that he tells from the stage. They're normally quite funny, and his music is It's amazing. I mean, I'm a huge fan personally, so this is a very special one for me from that vantage point, because he's a very special artist to me.
Okay, let's talk about the acts that there's going to be. But
Sure.
before we do that, maybe before we get into that, what is folk music? What is the music that people may hear? Now, people may go, folk music, I don't know it, so I don't know if I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really the case.
Well, we get that every year.
Yeah.
And the Ferdinand Folk Festival, first of all, the title was basically, FF and F. It kind of just went together, it flowed off the tongue. That was basically one of the main reasons we put that title together. Having said that, our definition of folk music isn't probably what everybody traditionally thinks as being folk music. I mean, I was speaking earlier that a lot of people would think of folk music as an early Bob Dylan or a Woody Guthrie or a Joan Baez, sitting around with a guitar and singing protest songs. But our definition of it is that it's basically the root of all music. So you never really know when we're in the planning stages for these what kind of music we're going to put on there, because it's certainly not always just going to be one person and a guitar. Now that is the case this year with Todd, and has been in the past with Colin Hay and Sean Mullins as well. But we have the Dirty Governors out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and they are a Southern boogie rock and roll band, which six-piece band as well. So we're pretty excited to bring that to the stage. We've never had that. For the first time, really, we're bringing bluegrass to the Ferdinand Folk Festival's main stage, and that's exciting in the Carper family, as well as Lindsay Lou and the Flatbellies. We were going to have Opal Fly out of Evansville. She, unfortunately, is not going to be able to perform this year, but we were very fortunate to replace her with the Honey Vines, which features Andrea Worth, who is no stranger to the Folk Festival. She actually played the main stage last year. And then we have the Bosco France Band. Bosco, I don't know if you were at that performance.
I was at the Legion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, he's from Madisonville, Kentucky, and he won the National Guitar Center's Battle of the Blues in 2012, I believe. And if you've never seen him perform, I mean, this guy, number one, he's amazing. Mm-hmm. Number two, he does all the things that you would imagine that somebody of that caliber would do. He plays behind his head, plays with his teeth,
yes,
behind his back, swings his guitar. I mean, it's just, and never misses a note. That's the amazing thing about him. And he's been an all-around great guy to work with, so we're really happy to have him. And then Bethany Bagelin is opening things up this year, and she's actually a Ferdinand resident and played the market stage last year. And she is, if you haven't heard her, she's absolutely amazing. She's a songwriter in her own right, and we're looking forward to another great day.
Now, we want to point out there are actually two stages at the Ferdinand Folk Fest. There's the main stage, which is where everybody sits in front of, where the thousands of people are.
Yeah.
But there's also a little stage, kind of a round stage, that's set up in the middle of the market area, which is where the booths are.
Yeah.
And they're playing in between the acts.
We ironically call that the market stage. We in the past, we've had a number of different acts that have played there, and we've kind of learned from that. Not that it was ever a mistake, but we learned that we could be a little bit more efficient with it. We only have 2 acts playing, but they will play multiple sets over the course of the day. So Katie Watts, who is out of Evansville, is going to perform, I think, 3 sets, and then Brandon Leonard, who is a Ferdinand native, is going to do another 3 sets in the market. And actually, we got some feedback last year that maybe there should be some seating around there, so we're going to put some type of seating there, whether it's chairs or straw bales or something like that, so people can actually stop and take a rest and enjoy the market stage.
Okay, now the market. Let's talk about that. The first few years it was grew and grew, and now you're out of space.
Yeah. We actually we turned away quite a few vendors this year, and we actually took the number of the art vendors in particular, and not necessarily the environmental vendors, but kind of cut back on them a little bit, so we had a little bit more flex room in there. If you remember, having walked through there over the past, I mean, it was sardines in a can in as tight of a spot as we could possibly get it. So we kind of created a little bit of flex room for us by minimizing the number of vendors. But yeah, we're looking at about 70 art and craft, art and artisan, I should say, and as well as environmental and educational vendors. So that's that 70 number. And then I think 13 or 14 food vendors. And I think it's another wide variety, all from wraps to the the deepest of deep fried things that you can imagine. So healthy to not exactly healthy options will be available, but I think that's important too because it is a festival and people kind of expect those type of food options at a festival. I will say that this year with the food vendors, I'm so happy about this because the majority of our vendors are local, not-for-profits, and we've never had that before. So proud of that because that's one of the goals of the Ferdinand Folk Festival is to keep some of the money as local as possible and is benefiting as many people locally as we possibly can. And these nonprofits, we're hearing that the Ferdinand Folk Festival is one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. So we're really, if only for that, hoping that the weather holds out so they have another successful day.
And with the Ferdinand Folk Festival, family is a big part. And you've got special things for kids all day, things for families to enjoy all day.
We did. We revamped the entire Children's Day of activities just because it was time to maybe refresh it. You know, you're on your 4th year. Let's see what we can shake up. Kind of pretty excited about the outfield and the softball field. We've always had this huge green space and never really had a way of maximizing that space. And last year we tried a zip line, which people enjoyed, but it wasn't as successful as we thought it was going to be. And this year we're actually putting in a playtown. We're calling it a playtown, and there'll be 5 inflatables, like bounce house type things. You can rent Segways there, the things that you stand on, and there will be a little train that the kids can ride, and there will be airbrush tattoos. The double bungee jump trampoline thing. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but the thing that kind of lets you go and shoots you up in the air. But I think the actual inflatables, you're going to buy a wristband, and I think it's $10, and that will last all day for the kids. So they will have an activity literally to do all day. The other rides, like the bungee jump and things like that, there will be a separate ticket cost to it. But so we're really excited about that. In the lower shelter house, that's always our designated children's activity area, and we're really proud. We have Lincoln State Park this year coming in to do a couple presentations on Lincoln's landscape and what the environment may have looked like when he grew up. So there'll be some reptiles and things like that they'll bring so that the kids can see and feel. And storytelling, we've always had a success at storytelling. We have a new storyteller in this year, so we're pretty excited about that as well. And then we have a folk dancing half hour or so that will be something new. We've never, I don't particularly know
what it is.
what encompasses a folk dance, but it's supposed to be for the family, so that'll be exciting. And then also, actually, one other thing, we have Magic with Style. Got a couple children's magic shows going on over the course of the day. So yeah, great day for the kids. And those children's activities, I think, start at basically 12:30 and they last until 5 or 5:30.
Okay, now let's kind of run down the lineup for the day.
Sure.
When the first act takes the stage, at what time, and the last act takes the stage at what time?
Yeah, the market stage actually will kick off the Folk Fest again this year, and that starts at 11:30. Bethany Beglin will come on at 12 o'clock on the main stage. Todd Snyder will hit the main stage. As you know, the times are approximate at that point in the day because we tend to go a little bit off schedule, not much, but 7:30 to 9 o'clock.
So roughly it's a full day into the early evening.
Oh yeah, and that's, and like I said, that's by design. We literally have something for the entire family to do over the course of the entire day because we want you to stay. We either want you to stay or if you leave, to come back.
Well, and that's just it. It's a free event, so you can come and go as you please.
Sure.
Ferdinand's not a huge town, but there are several great parking areas right around 18th Street Park.
Yeah, we try to stress this every year, and I don't know if we just don't do a good job of getting the message out, but the YMCA will let us use their parking lot, so we encourage people to park there. That parking lot has stayed basically open every year that we've had it, and is so close to
It's not that much of a walk.
No, not at all. Excuse me. The library as well, we can use their parking lot. The school's parking lot will open up, the school's westernmost parking lot will open up, I think about 4 o'clock or so. They have band practice, which is unavoidable every year. So there's also a parking lot over by the track. All of these places are within a very close walking distance, and I would strongly encourage anyone that is willing and able to take the trail system into the park, either via foot or, as you and I mentioned a little bit earlier, via bicycle.
It's amazing. There's so much to cover. We don't have that much time to do about
Sure.
it. But there's also the Ferdinand Fondo, which is occurring
Yeah.
as part of the Folk Festival bike ride
Yeah.
that Saturday morning and the Sunday after.
Yeah, our friends at DC Multisport and really Du Bois County Tourism have put together the Ferdinand Folk Festival Fondo, and it's I think if you participate in both days, you can go up to 100 miles recreational ride. Yeah, not me.
Tough for me.
I would hate to even drive that route, but it will hit Du Bois, Perry, and Spencer County. So they put a lot of work into it, and their idea is solid and it's sound, and I certainly hope it works out, because their idea is that this will bring in families, full families, and the first day is scheduled to conclude, at or around the beginning of the actual fest itself. So they're going to push people down to the park and hopefully have some family fun.
Well, Mark, I wish we had more time, but the easiest thing is for people just to go
Yeah,
to the Ferdinand Folk Festival.
absolutely. And check out our website if you would like to. It's www.ferdinandfolkfestival.com.
All right, and the Ferdinand Folk Fest really is just kind of a slice of Americana right in Ferdinand, Indiana.
Absolutely.
Right. Great event, free event. I'll be there. I hope to see you there. We want to thank our guest, Marc Stezyck, who is one of the coordinators for the Ferdinand Folk Festival. Great committee works to put this event on. Show your appreciation by showing up at the Ferdinand Folk Festival and enjoying it. This is WJTS. We are local people watching local people.